Recently, an attempt to row across the Atlantic Ocean by 2 Canadian and 2 American rowers ended short of its goal when a giant wave capsized their boat about 3/4 of the way across. Fortunately, the crew survived. While the crossing didn't end successfully, it did accomplish many educational goals for students in Lethbridge who were following the trip, communicating with the rowers, and learning about science, the environment, and the workings of the human body.
We have a lot of science on board, and we're
Crew member and Canadian Olympic gold medal rower Adam Creek expressed the educational value of the expedition.
partnered with a very eager teacher. This can be a very valuable addition to an environmental education curriculum. It's not the only way to get kids outside, but I think it is one way to get kids outside, get kids engaged in the outdoors, get them more active, and get them inspired to explore the world that is bigger than any of them could ever imagine.
What are you gaining from this process?
For grade 7 math and science teacher Tammy Viney, the cross-Atlantic voyage was a perfect learning opportunity for her students at Wilson Middle School.
What are you getting out of this? We were able to follow every day on their blog, and we also took some of the information that we were learning from their blog and the educational modules that the university had sent us, and we were able to study them further.
From bow to stern, from front to back, there are storage compartments where we stored upwards of 100 days worth of food.
Students at Wilson followed the expedition closely, keeping track of the crew's discoveries and observations via the internet.
Have you seen a lot of sea creatures? Tons. Flying fish. Yesterday, there was a humpback whale. We had a leatherback sea turtle, and there are these jellies called the Portuguese man-o'-war.
The really neat link to it as well is that kids got to see that life extends past the classroom, and they got to see the boys out on the ocean and really got them inspired to be outdoors more.
And they presented projects that demonstrated their level of understanding about nature, human movement, and science, all based on data the crew was sending back. Other projects throughout the school kept students and staff up to date with the expedition's progress. Every day, students were given pedometers in an attempt to walk as many kilometers as the crew was rowing.
It's been really cool to see how far some of these kids have actually been able to walk in a certain day, and as a group, how far we've been able to travel, but more importantly, just to kind of try and match him and to get our students to understand how much hard work is going into the expedition and how much hard work goes into being physically active and healthy.
At the University of Lethbridge, kinesiology professor John Doan compiled data from the expedition and is applying it to research in the area of biomechanics.
Rowing across the Atlantic Ocean is just a superhuman effort that our interest in is how it really ties into everything we study in kinesiology. There's a psychology to making that sort of extreme performance. There's a physiology to it. There's a biomechanics to it. So it makes a really great sort of applied example, and the information that group has been putting online gives us a chance to sort of interact and think, here's how high performance is done, and here's how it relates to what I'm studying at the U of L.
The opportunity for schools to participate in the Africa to Americas expedition was first suggested by U of L Faculty of Education professor Rick Mrazek, who saw its educational value. The U of L's Dean of Education says the adventure was ideal as a motivational learning experience for students.
When you see something as exciting as an expedition like this, and something that is just so relevant, the things we care about and worry about today in terms of environmental issues, it captures kids' attention, it captures the attention of teachers, and it creates this environment where that is an exciting learning environment where kids are truly engaged, exploring it, experimenting with it themselves.
Unfortunately, the expedition ended before the crew reached its final destination. But for teacher Tammy Viney, the adventure was more than a success as a learning opportunity for her students.
I'd say thank you for giving me the opportunity to see what life is like outside of the classroom and really inspire my students to care about education and to care about sustainability.